Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we will see Cannizzaro reaction and cross Cannizzaro reaction with possible MCQs and Viva questions. So like the video and subscribe the channel. So most of the organic chemistry material it is on my channel. So you subscribe the channel for more videos. So let us see Cannizzaro reaction. So in Cannizzaro reaction, we require what kind of an aldehydes. So it is based on reactions of an aldehyde, and the aldehyde it becomes disproportionate. So disproportionate means what? So disproportionate means what? So that aldehyde it becomes unbalanced or it becomes unequal. So it becomes unequal and it forms alcohol and it forms an carboxylic acid. So that is why it is said to be an disproportionate. So why disproportionate actually? Because this aldehyde molecule now it has become unequal. So unequal why? That one of the product it has been oxidized and one of an product it has been reduced. So there two molecules are been required. And that when it is it is an base induced reaction. One it forms an alcohol and second it forms an carboxylic acid. So which one is reduced and which one is oxidized? If we see the structure of this aldehyde, so two hydrogens they have been added in this aldehyde and it has formed an alcohol. So this structure it is reduced form, and carboxylic acid it is an oxidized form. So instead of this hydrogen, so here we can see there is one more oxygen in between hydrogen and oxygen, or this hydrogen it has been replaced by OH, and that is why it is an oxidized form. So that is why it is said to be a disproportionation of what? Disproportionation of an aldehyde. So disproportionation of an aldehyde it causes alcohol which is reduced form, and it causes one more product that is carboxylic acid which is oxidized form, and it requires base. So remember this very well, that it requires base. And now one more thing that is been requirement for an Cannizzaro reaction, that is non-enolizable aldehyde. So what is non-enolizable aldehyde? So it means that when aldehyde molecule, say suppose this is an aldehyde molecule, and this aldehyde molecule, the carbonyl carbon and hydrogen, so there should be no presence of an carbon which is having an alpha hydrogen. So which is having an alpha hydrogen. So I have written here the carbon, one more chain of an carbon, and this carbon should not have an what? So it should not have an what? So it should not have an alpha hydrogens. This alpha carbon should not have an alpha hydrogen. So remember this is the requirement for an Cannizzaro reaction, and that is why it becomes non-enolizable. What is meant by a non-enolizable? When this form it is an keto form. In tautomerism you have learned about keto form and enol form. So this form it is an keto form. So this keto form it can be converted into an what? It can be converted into an enol form. So what actually an enol form is? So instead of an carbonyl oxygen, it is having an OH, right? So it forms an OH. So from where this hydrogen comes? So the hydrogen it comes from one hydrogen it comes from the upper carbon, right? So I will explain you over here. One hydrogen it comes from the carbon. So this hydrogen it has moved on oxygen, and double bond between oxygen it has been broken, and the double bond it has been shifted, right? So in this way the double bond has been shifted, and the lone pair of electrons it will attack on oxygen, it will attack on hydrogen, and so that is why it forms an alcoholic group. So this form it is an keto form. So such kind of molecules will not undergo Cannizzaro reaction. So the starting material should be in a such way that it should be a non-enolizable. So non-enolizable means what? So they should not show such kind of forms, keto form and enol form. Why? Because it is like it becomes an enolate ion and enol ion. So whatever that has been seen in aldol condensation, right? So non-enolizable aldehydes are required for Cannizzaro reaction. It means that alpha carbon atom should not have an alpha hydrogen atom. So R, it should be either H, so it should be an formaldehyde, so it should be H, or it should be an benzaldehyde. When benzaldehyde, it is benzaldehyde, so R, it has been replaced by a phenyl ring, and when it is an formaldehyde, R, it has been replaced by hydrogen. So such kind of molecules can only give Cannizzaro reaction. Now second thing is that mechanism. So what kind of a mechanism do it shows? So one more thing I missed over here, that it requires two molecules, right? Two molecules of non-enolizable aldehyde. So the molecules are similar. Now in the first step, what is happening? So base molecule. So base molecule, it comes from an sodium hydroxide. So this base moiety, or we can say it is an nucleophile, right? So nucleophile, from where it comes? It comes from an sodium. So after dissociation of an sodium and hydroxide moiety, it forms a nucleophile. So nucleophile is formed in a such way, or the bond breaking it is in a such way that bond, it has been broken from the lone pair of electron, it has been shifted on oxygen. Actually the oxygen, it has two lone pair of electrons, right? So naturally oxygen has two lone pair of electrons, but when the bond between sodium and oxygen, it breaks, the bond has been shifted towards where? It has been shifted towards an oxygen. And that is why here you can see there are three lone pair of electrons. So there are three lone pair of electrons, but here it is only two, and now after breaking of bond, now there are three lone pair of electrons, and sodium will have an positive charge and oxygen will have a negative charge. So it is due to again electronegative difference. Sodium, it is an electropositive metal, oxygen, it is an electronegative element. So that is why when a bond it breaks, it always break in a such way that electrons are being shifted on an oxygen. So till here it is clear. Now it will find an electron deficient center. When it finds an electron deficient center, so electron deficient center, oxygen cannot be an electron deficient center because it already contains a non-bonding electrons, so it is not an electron deficient center. Hydrogen is not an electron deficient center, or this R group, whether it is an phenyl ring or whether it is an hydrogen, so it is not an electron deficient center. Why it is not an electron deficient center? So electron deficient center is such that it can break a bond. So what happens when the nucleophile it attacks? When nucleophile attacks the carbon, the bond between carbon and oxygen, it will break and electrons will be shifted on oxygen, right? So pi bond, there are two bonds over here between carbon and oxygen. So one of bond, it is pi bond. So pi bonds are always weak, and one of the bond, it will break and electrons will be shifted on oxygen, and sigma bond, it will remain as it is. So in the next structure you can see there are three lone pair of electrons. From where this three lone pair of electron comes? So two naturally it is having, and one breaking of carbon and oxygen bond, so it forms three lone pair of electrons, and that is why it is having now an electron rich. Now it has become an electron rich. Firstly it was not an electron rich, so it was in normal spaces, but now it has become an electron rich because the carbon and oxygen bond has been broken and electrons are being shifted on an oxygen, and so that is why it has become an electron rich species. And a new bond between oxygen and carbon, it has been formed. So always remember that these arrows, they are shown in a such way where electrons are flowing, right? So I have shown here that electrons are flowing towards the carbon and it is forming a new bond with electron deficient carbon. And when this bond is been formed, the oxygen and carbon bond, it has been breaking and it is shifting electron towards an oxygen. So the electron flow, it is shown by again an arrow. Now in the next structure, what happens in the first step, once more this sodium and hydroxide ion, the bond it will break, and second species of a nucleophile or second species of a base, it will attack this center and it will form an dianion. So see again, there are 3 lone pair of electrons, and one of the electron pair, it will abstract the hydrogen, right? So it will abstract the hydrogen, and electrons between in between oxygen and hydrogen, they will be shifted on oxygen, and now it forms an 3 lone pair of electron. It becomes an electron rich center, right? And it becomes an electron rich center. Earlier there were only 2 lone pair of electrons and 1 lone pair of electron. So 1 electron from oxygen, 1 electron from hydrogen. Now it has formed a bond, and that bond it has been breaking and it is shifting electron towards an oxygen, right? And that is why it is having a negative charge, and dianion molecule it has been formed. Now question is that why it is not attacking this hydrogen, why it is not attacking this R group? Because why? The electronegativity difference between carbon and hydrogen, it is less compared to electronegativity difference between oxygen and hydrogen, it is more. If you remember the periodic table, after carbon on the right hand side, after the carbon, oxygen you can see means carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. So electronegativity of an oxygen it is higher, and that is why there is a difference in electronegativity, it is higher, and that is why the bond breaking it is easy. As bond becomes polar, it is easy to break, right? So this bond it will not break easily, but carbon oxygen bond it will break easily, and electrons will be shifted on an oxygen. Why they are only shifted on oxygen, why not hydrogen? Because that oxygen it is electronegative atom and hydrogen it is electropositive atom. So that is why electrons are being shifted towards an oxygen, and it is forming an dianion. So dianion, why di? 2 negative charges we can see, 2 negative centers we can see, and these are anions. So anion means what? Negative charges, right? After that, in the second step, there is hydride ion transfer. So this step it is said to be an hydride ion transfer. And why it is said to be an hydride ion transfer? So remember that when we see this kind of an hydrogen, so it is a normal hydrogen, but when we see such kind of an hydrogen with an electron deficient center, it is said to be a proton. But when we see a hydrogen with a negative charge, it is said to be an hydride ion. This hydrogen with negative charge, it is said to be an hydride ion. And now why hydride ion it has been removed? Why hydride ion it has been removed? Because one of a lone pair of electron on an oxygen, it forms a double bond with carbon, and it forms a double bond. So here you can see it has been formed a double bond, and it has formed a carboxylate anion. And the bond breaking, so bond breaking it will be in a such way that electrons will be transferred on hydrogen, right? So bond will be transferred on hydrogen, and this hydrogen it will have a negative charge. So that is why it is said to be an hydride ion transfer. And when it is leaving carbon, it makes it electron deficient. And now once it is electron deficient, so electrons will be transferred from oxygen. So that bond it will be occupied, or bond it will be formed between carbon and oxygen, right? Because it is an electron deficient center, and electron deficient center requires an electron. So where the electrons will come from? So it will come from this oxygen. So it may come from this oxygen, but it will come only from one of an oxygen, from this 2, right? And it will form a double bond. So it has formed a double bond. Here you can see it has formed now a double bond between carbon and oxygen, and upper oxygen it is as similar as in the first structure. Now from where this second molecule comes, right? From where this second molecule comes, so second molecule it comes, so already we have seen in the principle that 2 molecules of aldehyde reacts. 2 molecules of aldehyde react. 1 molecule it has been consumed in the first step, and second molecule now it has been consumed in the second step. So this hydride ion it will attack an electron deficient center. So already I have explained why this R it is not been attacked, or why this hydrogen it is not been attacked, or why this oxygen it is not been attacked. So only the carbon it has been attacked because it is an electron deficient center in the second molecule. and as it has been attacked, a new bond between carbon and oxygen it is formed. So here you can see the new bond it has been formed, but at the same time one more bond it has been breaking. So why the bond breaking and making is taking place? See, remember that carbon is always having valency 4. So here you can see the carbon number 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, so there are 4 bonds on the carbon. So always carbon will have 4 bonds when it is at normal stage, and here you can see that it has formed 4 bonds, and as it has formed 4 bonds, so the so bond between carbon and oxygen it will break, and the electrons will be shifted on oxygen. And now here there were only 2 lone pair of electrons, but here are 3 lone pair of electrons. You can see there are 3 lone pair of electrons, and 1 electron pair it has been come from breaking of pi bond between carbon and oxygen. Now there are 3 lone pair of electrons, and it has formed an alkoxide anion. Now in the third step, so third step it is simple. So it requires an hydrogen. So it requires hydrogen. So where from hydrogen it comes? So it comes from an acidified water. So in the reactions, many a times you have seen that add the acid at the end, right? Add the acid at the end in the synthesis procedure you have seen. So to understand the acid, why the acids are added at the end, or why the bases are added at the end. In case of Cannizzoro's reaction, if you see the procedure normally, then you will observe that acids are added at the end, right? Why at the end? So here we require an acidified water in the third step. Now in the third step we require an acidified water. When the carbon and oxygen bond it breaks, so it breaks in a such way that electrons are being transferred on an oxygen, right? So electrons are being transferred on an oxygen, and hydrogen it is an electron deficient now, and oxygen it has become an electron rich, or the valency of an oxygen it is now been satisfied, right? It has become an electron deficient, or it is having partial negative charge, positive charge, and now once the electrons are been transferred on an oxygen, so now it has formed an what? It has formed a normal H2O molecule, and the bond between carbon and oxygen it breaks, a pi bond it will break, and that pi bond it will attack hydrogen. So always the flow of electrons is shown in a such way that electrons are being transferred from where the electrons have been transferred. So similar way, so most of the students what they are doing, they are circling this H and they are transferring on oxygen. So that is not the correct way. So electrons are being transferred where the arrow it is been shown. And why all these things are happening? These things are happening because the electrons are being shifted between carbon and oxygen, and it is forming a new bond, a new pi bond it has been formed. As it is forming a new pi bond, so double bond it will break, and as the double bond it will break, so it will bring a hydrogen from an acidified water, right? And it will form a carboxylic acid. So this carboxylic acid it is our oxidized product. The aldehyde it is having one more hydrogen. Now that is why it is said to be an oxidized product. And now alkoxide ion. So in case of an alkoxide ion, we need to form an alcohol. So where from this hydrogen it will come? So it will come from this acidified water. So earlier H2O it has formed an H2O in the first stage, and once this H2O it has been formed, again oxygen will draw electron from an hydrogen, and hydrogen will be a positive charged molecule, and the lone pair of electron between oxygen and hydrogen it will form a new bond. And now here you can see there is one lone pair of electron it has been consumed. Here it were 3 lone pair of electrons, but in this structure you can see there are only lone pair of electrons 2. So one of the lone pair of electron it has been consumed for making a bond between oxygen and hydrogen. So because this is an electron deficient, it is not having electron of itself, so it will require electron. So one of an electron it comes from to a lone pair of electron it comes from an oxygen, and it forms a bond between sharing electrons between hydrogen and oxygen, and it forms an alcohol. So this is our reduced product, right? So this is our reduced product. Now we'll see mechanism of an cross Cannizzoro's reaction. So in case of a cross Cannizzoro's reaction, for statement we will see of an cross Cannizzoro's reaction. So there is difference between Canizose and cross Canizose reaction. So what is the difference? So difference is that benzaldehyde, it is different species, and formaldehyde, it is different species, and both does not contain both does not contain alpha hydrogen atom. So this is the requirement for Canizose reaction, that it should not contain an alpha hydrogen atom. So there is no alpha hydrogen atom present in benzaldehyde also and in formaldehyde also. And why it is said to be in cross? Why cross? Because the two different species are reacting. As we have seen in case of an Canizose reaction, that the molecules are same, but here molecules are not same, here molecules are different. So two molecules of benzaldehyde, it will react, and it will form an benzyl alcohol and formic acid in presence of what? In presence of an strong base, and later on we have to add acidified water, so it is shown in second number. And always remember that benzyl alcohol, a big molecule, a large molecule, so large molecule, it will be always reduced. So why it is said to be in reduced form? But here you can see that benzaldehyde, it is CHO, right? That is aldehyde, and it has become an alcohol. Two hydrogens have been added in the structure, and it will be always reduced. And the small molecule, it will be always oxidized. So here you can see in case of an formaldehyde, that it was the structure of an formaldehyde having an aldehyde group, but here now it is an carboxylic acid, that one more oxygen it has been added, so it is in reduced form. So always remember that reduced form, it is forming from a big molecule, and small molecule it forms an oxidized form, because this question can become in the predict the product, right? So for prediction of product, always remember that large molecule it has been reduced, and small molecule it has been oxidized. Now we'll see what are the possible Viva questions and MCQ question, like explain the principle of Canizose reaction, or the statement will be given about Canizose reaction that two molecules of ketones will react. So two molecules of not ketone, so two molecules of aldehyde will only react, which are non-enolizable. Right? Remember that concept, which are non-enolizable, which should not contain alpha hydrogen atom, and which are base induced. This reaction, it is base induced. So one, it forms an carboxylic acid, and second, it forms an alcohol. So two molecules which are disproportionate of an aldehyde, we get that molecule. So there can be an MCQ question. So remember the statement very carefully. What is the role of non-enolizable aldehyde in Canizose reaction? So I have spent lot of time on this explaining what is non-enolizable. So what is non-enolizable? That aldehyde, it does not contain alpha hydrogen atom. But in case of an aldol condensation, we require only an alpha hydrogen type of an aldehydes or ketones. But here we require only aldehydes. So remember it. Which is oxidized and which is reduced product in Canizose reaction? So oxidized is carboxylic acid which has been forming, and reduced is what? Alcohol which has been forming. So here can be a question on predict the product also. So you have to write it correctly. So most of the time, like confusing predict the product, it can be between cross Canizose reaction, that is which compound has been oxidized and which compound has been reduced, right? So predict the product, it can be one of an MCQ question or Viva question also. And what is the difference between Canizose and cross Canizose reaction? Is that it contains same molecules of aldehydes, and it contains a mixture of aldehydes, right? So it contains a mixture of aldehydes. It means that it contains two molecules of aldehyde minimum, right? So that is the difference between cross Canizose and Canizose reaction. Hope you understood the Canizose reaction. If you are having any more problems with that Canizose reaction or any suggestions, you can place a comment in a comment box. I will try to answer it. So thank you for watching.